Welcome, welcome in. Hello, hello to everybody. We are in a Dusty Granny event group, and it is hosted by Miss Wendy from Dusty Granny Crafts by Wendy. And thank you, Miss Aimee, for helping out today and for getting us all posted up and all the good things. I hope everybody is doing well today. And I am getting myself sprinkled out into the FB world. So, and there we go. I can also see comments. Thank you, Miss Aimee. And Miss Aimee, if you need me to share you in later, just let me know. I can definitely do that as well. So, we're going to be working with a little golden book today. And so I like to put together these little kits. Some of them end up having a lot more ephemera than others. So let's get started. Hi there, Miss Teresa. How are you, my friend? And let me show you guys. So I have some papers here that are all like zoo themed. I even have some stamps to go with it and some little cards that we can use as well. So let's get rolling. Hello there, home for every season. You were up before me, not after me. You were up before me. I hope that you are doing well. So these are some old charade cards. And so we have elephant, gorilla, bear, kangaroo, monkey, which would all be animals you would see at the zoo. And I have this card, which is from another old game. It says zoo, and it says like animals, cages, wild, go, see. Right? So I thought that was pretty cool. And then these are some scrapbook pages. And so we have like zoo. And then this one has like the tigers up there. And these are 12 by 12s. We have some alligators. This one is just a cute green. We have our monkeys. So I thought that was super cute. So we're going to use some of those. Like I said, I do have some animal stamps here. And then this this was back from Kmart. Golden Book Stickology at the Zoo. And it has this cute little scene, and it has all these little stickers. So I thought that would be pretty neat to add inside as well. Hey there, Miss Bonnie. How are you doing, dear? And then I was able to get a hold of this book here, which is called A Visit to the Zoo. And I thought it was just precious, and it'd be perfect for all of that I had collected. So this is from 1969. And I just think it would be very cute to add this. Oh, no worries. You know, what is life without a little chaos, my friend? Alright, so, the way that I take my little golden books apart, if you've been on one of my lives before, you've seen it, but I will heat up where our golden band is, and we will pop this off. So that's what we're going to work on first. And you can tell this is an older book by the images on the gold. I love when I can find all kinds of different little golden books. Hey there, Miss Rona. Oh, no. It is Miss Wendy. I have been praying, hoping that, was nowhere near y'all. But we will continue to pray. Please, please stay safe. So how's my friend over across the pond? Yes, exactly. Please stay safe. You and your beautiful family. Okay, so it's starting to come off. This one was really glued down pretty good. Hi there, Miss Lisa. Hello, everybody. I am sorry that I have missed so many of y'all. Hi there, Miss Kimberly. I am still trying to recover from 20 hours of driving. So I know I have to go catch replays. Oh, I'm glad to hear that it is getting cooler. I have a friend who will be going over, and she is not happy with a lot of the news that's coming out. She's supposed to be doing a river cruise, and they're saying that ships can't go because it's been so much of a drought. There's not enough water in the river, and that is scary. Like, I knew it was hot, but I didn't know it was that bad. So this part does take a little bit of patience, because depending on your book, it is going to take a little bit longer than with other books. And this is one of those books that's just going to take a little bit longer to do. So it's all good. It's all good. But there we go. It's starting to come off. She's been stubborn, but she's starting to come off. I want to save it, which is why I don't rip it or just cut it off. I do want to save this ribbon because it's so iconic, you know? I am doing great, Miss Lisa. I am just trying to recover from 20 hours of driving back from Oklahoma, from hosting my retreat. So I'm just a little tired, that's all. My body's like, girl, we need to rest. And I signed up for Aimee's event yesterday. I signed up for Miss Wendy's event today, and I've just been trying to sleep. Really? Limited hours. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my word. Yeah, because I didn't drive from Georgia to Oklahoma. I went Georgia, Louisiana, and then up to Oklahoma so that I could pick up Miss Carla so she could join us. So it added a little bit, but so worth it to be able to have her there. I would do it all over again. Maybe next year, Miss Aimee can join us, and her and Carla can carpool, and I'll meet y'all there in Oklahoma. So that takes off our ribbon, okay? And it is intact as can be. There is a little bit of tearing, but that was already torn. But other than that, it is as intact as can be, and this is really good to save. Now let me show you a newer one so you can see why I said that you can tell this is an older book. Look at the new ribbon versus the old ribbon. I don't know if you guys can really tell the difference. But you see the images, how they are slightly different. I-49, yeah, that sounds familiar. I think I did a lot of that 49. So I saved my ribbons, whether I'm going to repurpose it or not. And like I said, a lot of fun. So now I'm just going to use my craft knife. You can use a screwdriver, okay? And we're going to lift up these staples, because that and the ribbon is literally what holds a golden book together, which is why they're so easy to take and to repurpose and turn them into journals. Oh, I'm glad you could see that. I'm very glad to hear that. So I'm so pumped for, I already want to start planning next year. I already have the dates, but like what we're gonna do, like I'm already so pumped up. I want to do it again. It was such a blessing. Okay, now again we have our two boards, front and back, and then our pages. I went right past you. Oh no. Well, next time we might need if I go back up that way and I do that drive again, we might just need to stop and pick you up too and take you with us, Miss Teresa. Alright, so that was the front cover. There are two signatures, so I'm going to find the first one. And a signature is where it's the grouping of pages that fold onto themselves. And so little golden books are known for having two signatures. So this is the first one, so I'm going to pull the first one off. I'll come in and make sure that I pull the next one off. That is our second signature, and then that leaves us our cover. Obviously I don't want these staples to poke me, so I'm going to pull them off. Now I've done plenty of little golden books live. I think what I need to start doing next are some of the other style books and how to take them apart, or turn them into altered books, so that we can show how to use them. So I used my craft knife and I just took those staples out, and those are going to go into the trash because I don't need them anymore. So back cover, front cover, and there's a name there, which is totally fine. Stacy had her name there, and then our signatures. So first things first is deciding it, you know, what you're going to do. So I normally make these into a full hardcover, which means I need to make a spine for it. So I'm going to grab my scraps. Hello there, Miss Chandra. I'm gonna pull out my scraps of chipboard from when I cut up chipboard for books and things, or even boxes. We're gonna find a piece that'll work. They're all about the same height, so it doesn't really matter. It's gonna come down to just cutting one in half. So I'm gonna take the wider one and we're gonna cut it down. Let me switch my blade out. Where's my straight blade? Oh, that's because my straight blade is still on my table. Okay. The process is fascinating to you? Oh, I'm so glad. Hey, Miss Glenna! How are you doing, my dear? I hope you are well. Alright, so this piece of box that I have is 2.5 inches wide. That is definitely way too wide for my spine, so I'm going to trim it down. And 2.5 down to there. So we're gonna trim it right here at the 1.5 mark. Right, 1.5 mark. No, 1.25 mark. So it'll be halfway down. And you really normally don't need a very thick border. Tamara. My name is pronounced, it's pronounced Tamara, but it's hard for people to say it, so Tamara would be the closest. Alright, so here we go. Those are my two pieces. As I always say, Tamara, Tamara, Tamara. I've heard it all. That's what most people just call me T. And just don't call me late for dinner. And we're good. Alright. So, we are going to need to trim this down to be the height of our covers, because this was too high. So, my very fancy smancy measuring comes down to lining the stuff up, and I'm gonna mark it. Especially don't call me, especially don't say that I'm late if you got, you know, some yummy food and some dessert. I definitely don't want to be late then. I'm doing another hot day in Northern California. Oh my goodness. It was, I mean, it was warm in Oklahoma. I wouldn't necessarily say that it was like super hot. It was warm for sure. What I like, at least about the area that we were at for the retreat, is that there was always a breeze. I love that. Alright, so I'm going to use some of my box tape. Thank you for sprinkling me out. I appreciate it, friends, because that always helps. So up after me is going to be our wonderful crafts by Aimee, who is helping Wendy out today to share because Miss Tracy is in the hospital, so make sure you guys are keeping her in your prayers. We might be twins separated at birth. You never know, you know? Okay, so I'm just going to put my piece down as much in the middle as possible. Okay. And then I'm going to bring my board. Now, one of the things that I was showing, and I don't know if I have one right now, is to make yourself, to give yourself like a space for your board. And sometimes it's hard to eye it. So this is just a bamboo skewer, and that's just going to give me the space that I need. We're going to eyeball this, that it's, you know, where it needs to be. Yes, we just keeping her in our prayers that she recuperates and will be home soon, back with her family and the new grandbaby and all, you know. Alright, so that's my fancy dancy little spacer, just in case if anybody was wondering. And then I'm just going to bring my tape upward, and we're going to tear and bring it down as well. So I love this tape. It is amazing. It is very strong. Ah. Okay. Use your bone folder because you want to make sure that you get the glue from whatever adhesive tape that you're using. You want to get it to activate and to attach to your board. And it could be pieces of chipboard, or it could be like in this case that we are doing the boards of a little golden book. My husband calls it box tape because it's what they use in the box factory where he works, the box making factory. It is very strong tape. I am going to actually be curating some of it through his job to be able to sell it because it is amazing. It is very strong and very sturdy. Hi there, sweet Carla. Your ears must have been burning because I was talking about getting you from Louisiana. So your ears must have been burning, my friend. I'm just going to put a piece here because I totally butchered that. And I'm not worried because this is going to end up being covered. Okay? I'm not worried about it. No, it's not paper tape. No. Not at all. It is very, very sturdy. I used paper tape a lot when I first started doing books. And I've used masking tape. And don't get me wrong, masking tape works, so does the other one, but this is just, oh my gosh. You just finished your shower. Why does that not surprise me? Every time I'm coming live, you're either getting out of the shower or about to go into the shower, or you missed me because you were in the shower. Alright, now, one of the things that a lot of people talk about and ask me when they're doing their little golden books is So the little golden book has this natural where it wants to bend, okay? But we don't want it to bend there. And the reason why we don't want it to bend there is because if you were to cut on this bend, all right, what's gonna end up happening, so let's say we cut it at this bend and I were to start my signature at the bend, what's gonna happen is it's gonna make the cover too short and your pages, you know, are gonna be sticking out. If you go to cut your pages, you're gonna lose images. All right, so you want that part to be straight. Now we can, this one is a little on the flimsy side, more than I would like. So I am going, because I know I'm going to cover the inside, I am going to put some tape to help sturdy it. Okay. Depending on what you're doing to the inside of your cover is really where you'll want to decide what it is that you're doing as far as how you're securing that bend. Okay, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to just add some additional tape here right where this bend is to keep it from bending as much as it normally would. Once I add my fabric, my paper, to, you know, the design of the cover, it'll help it. But I have seen way too many times, and I'm like in the comments like, no, don't cut it, because then you end up having the issue with the papers. Now I'm not gonna fold these up because I don't want to cover the back image. Alright, so I'm just going to trim this right here where it's at. And where did my scissors go? I had to pull a second pair of scissors out yesterday because I didn't put my stuff away. Alright, so I'm just going to trim it right up against the book. And again, that is because I don't want to cover up as much of the back. Okay? Now, if your back is messed up and you plan on covering the back, yes, you can totally cover it with tape. I mean, by all means. Okay? But see, already by putting that paper, it's already sturdier than this side by putting that tape down. So we're going to put some tape on this other side and give it that sturdy grip again. And again, I'm just going to take off the excess because I do not want to cover this side here. I will end up putting some fabric, which is normally what I like to do on the spines. I will put some fabric and it will come like right up to where the words are. But now with this here, it's going to help it so that the only thing that is bending is our spine base, not this part here. Okay? Now let's look at our papers. And we're going to look at the pages on the inside. So, I know that sometimes we may be tempted to open up and find the middle and grab this and shove it here and make one signature. Problem when you do it, this is called a bone folder. This one's made out of plastic. They originally were made out of bone, but that's what it's called. It's called a bone folder. And you can find them in all kinds of different sizes, shapes, thicknesses. It really just depends. This one here I found in the kids section of Hobby Lobby, where they have the origami paper, and this one was 99 cents for this, for the big one. Just putting it out there. But yeah, so if I were to just put them in there, it would throw off the story. I like to keep the stories where I can still read it. I want to read this. This is a third printing from 1969. I want to read this story the way it was meant to be read. So that means that we're going to have 2 signatures. What I can do to this is I can slip some papers in between and make, you know, to where I have some spots to journal on or to add pictures. Oh, I have lots. I never realized that they're different ones. Yes, there are different ones. Yeah, Cricut does have one. And even if you use I can't get to it, but Cricut has the little flat tool that you kind of use to kind of like flatten the vinyl. You can use that as well. Hi, Miss Yvonne. How are you doing, dear? So I like to add pages. Really, mine still had some, at least the last time I checked. They still had some. Because I was thinking of picking up a second one. So like I said, I'm going to put pages in between. If you want to, you can make 3 smaller ones, 3 smaller signatures, and so we can leave the front one, and then in the middle we could add the pages, and then the last one is the rest of the book. Really? Oh my gosh. Well, that stinks. Okay. So again, this is 12 by 12 paper, and we are going to trim it down so that I can fit it in with my book. Alright. So if I were to grab a page and open it up, you will see that a 12 by 12 is slightly shorter. So that's okay. It's green. Yes, you can use those as well. But that is okay that this is going to be shorter than my paper book, because I like to have the different lengths of my paper, sometimes even different heights, just to give like more interest to our journal. So the biggest thing is knowing the height and not going past the height, because when we typically build a journal, we make sure that we normally have the border, right? Little golden books are not created that way. Little golden books are made to be exactly the height and size of the covers. So when you're cutting paper to add in, you never want to go more than the pages, okay? Because if not, it's gonna stick out, and that really is not so much that it doesn't make for a clean look. It actually becomes hard. Like if you have something here, like you couldn't slide it and put it up on a shelf, because you would have pages that would be getting bent and messed up, right? So we want to make sure that we keep our height no more than the height of the pages that are already in the signatures of the book. Alright, so for that I'm going to measure to give myself that knowledge. So it is right at under 8 inches. So as long as I keep my height under 8 inches, I am going to be good. So it's like 7 and I forget how many, like, but I'm going to cut it slightly smaller just so that I can fit it in with no, you know, with no problems. And obviously we keep our strips because we can do stuff with that. So this is going to be one of our pages. Here is that tiger page. So again, we're going to make sure that we are keeping it at no more than that 7 and I think it's like 8/16 or something. I'm just going below where I remember seeing it. 7.5 if you want to. And again, I'm keeping all those because we can make tags with them. We can make all kinds of stuff. Here's our alligators. And of course, you don't have to use pattern papers. You can also use just plain papers. School rule papers. You know, old book pages. You know, you can be as creative with what you are adding as you want. Now, I am thinking, how about, instead of cutting, I'm going to score. I'm going to score this one. I'm going to score it so that I can make a pocket. So this helped me to score my page. And now I can fold it nicely, and see, now I've created a pocket on the back side. And my only concern if I do that with this one is the monkeys will be upside down, so I can't do that. I have to cut, because if not, it won't look right. Perfect. So one by one, I'm just going to do a simple fold to the middle. And there's our page. So this one we created the back pocket to it, which that is super fun because something's already there. You don't have to think of making a pocket because it's already done. We have alligators. This one would have been one that I could have gone back with it. So it is what it is. You do? Oh, how cool. That is awesome. Hi there, Miss Brenda. So these were from a Miss Elizabeth's scrapbook, like little mini set. And I was like, oh, I've just been looking for the right book to use them with. Wait a second, I need the rest of this. I need the rest of the signature. Hello, hello to everybody. Welcome in. So, grown, look, the baby kangaroo. We have the ducks. We have a llama. Bunnies. There's like a little whale thing here. Super cute. Sheep. Brown. Okay. It's kind of more of a little bit more of like a petting zoo. There's a monkey. So we could add our monkey page here. I want to add the one that says zoo. I want to put it like in the middle so that when you open it, you can see where it says zoo. I love her sets too. I love, you know, how they're all themed and everything. So I'm always picking them up when I find them. So I really didn't see a tiger. So I also had this one, which is also where the baby goes to the zoo. There's a gorilla. Okay. It's another little book that I had. I was like, oh, one of these will be the one. I didn't pay attention to what papers you were using. Where's my monkey? Where's my monkeys? Because we have a monkey right there, and I want my monkeys to be together. Where'd the monkeys go? Here are the monkeys. Here are the monkeys. Really? Taller tree? Oh. That's interesting. Isn't it interesting how things have just like changed in general? So I'm gonna put this one in here, and then over here I do kind of want to not put anything here just because I know this is the cover, but if there's something here, it will kind of block where they start reading. So I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to leave that one. And then we're going to come in and we'll do the tiger one. Oh, Angel Garden. I have a few of hers that are with angels. They're so pretty. I absolutely love. We'll put the gators right there. I think that'll be cute. And then as far as like using, you know, utilizing paper. So I have this old writing paper pad, and these are fun to add into your journals. and they automatically give you like a place to write. So I do want to add some of those. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some of that out. And we'll add a few of that in there. And then this is music sheet, but it doesn't have anything on it. It's where you would write your music. And so this is another fun one. But I don't know if I want to add it. I think I'm just going to add just the writing paper. So the height is like right same as the little golden book, so that's good. And all we have to do is fold. Thank you. I thought it was a cute little book too. I thought so too. And that's the thing, like you can do all different kinds of themes, because there's all kinds of things that are out there for little golden books. You know, Christmas, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July. They have the season one, which I absolutely love because I think it would be so fun. You like the music paper? I could say that it's a little traumatic. It reminds me of being in music school and having to write music. I took piano per my dad for many, many years growing up. And then when I was a teenager, I asked if I could go to music school. And I had to take all kinds, everything from music history, reading music, writing music, composition, like all of it. Yes, and the paper, the line paper is in the perfect order. Perfect order. So I am going to add one of the line papers here. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I am going to take some of the stamps and I'm going to put like zoo and then like some of these animals on it. And it is absolutely going to be perfect. And we'll just add a piece of lined paper throughout to give us just that extra little writing space. And it's old and it's darkened and very nostalgic, perfect for that. Oh, really? I like Susan Branch. I love the way she designs. I think it is just very, very pretty. So we're gonna add that one there. We'll add this one. Add this one over here as well. And then let me add one more. So I found this one at a thrift store. I found that pad at a thrift store. So, but I will tell you, it is back to school time. So a lot of things that we use, like school glue and lined paper, can be found right now at actually pretty decent pricing because it's back to school time. So like I said, I love Susan Branch's designs, but mostly what I have is just like her books. I have a set of papers, Christmas papers for her. Or did I sell those? I don't remember anymore. But I know I've seen them. I know I've seen them. Okay. Now, this is where we have to decide, like, are we going to cover this with any kind of fabric? Are you covering the outside with fabric? Do you want to cover the outside before you sew in your signatures? If you do it that way, then you know, if you sew your signatures in first and you put your fabric on afterwards, you won't see where you sew it. Oh wow, 4-season set. Marcy! Hey sweetie. Hi Miss Trudy. So I am looking to see, because I have a cute little animal fabric that I want to use. And we're going to use this to cover the inside of the book. This is a vintage piece of fabric, and I used it to make a baby book, and I was like, oh, that's going to be pretty. Now, I don't mind that I can see the wording underneath. If that would bother you, then I would highly suggest you cover with maybe like some white cardstock or something of that nature. Okay, so I am going to come right over here and come over this way. It is adorable, isn't it? So it's this was the fabric that I used to make one of my friends who just had a baby. I made her a baby book, and I did it with these little animals, and I thought it was just so stinking adorable. So like I said, I don't have a problem with the bottom of it, but if somebody else did, then obviously you would want to cover that up. You know, you could even paint the board if you wanted to. That fabric, it looks familiar. Yep, because I've used it before. I used it recently. When did I give her? Back in May. I gave her the book back in May. So it's been about that long. All right, let me see if I have. I'm going to just put a little bit of some cardstock on here. Again, to just cover a little bit. Just like I said, all we're doing is covering a little bit. It's just so that you like don't see the stuff under it. The main one, honestly, that I'm more than anything is here where the name is. That I'm kind of like not that concerned about. But, you know. Alright, so let's go ahead and put some of this down here. Yeah, you're packing up. I haven't unpacked yet, Marcy. I'm surprised that you're packing back up again. I haven't even fully unpacked. Like, I've been looking for my scissors and different things like that. because it's still all packed up. So up after me is Miss Aimee from Crafts by Aimee. So make sure that you stick around and watch her. She is also helping to share in. Like I said, Miss Tracy is in the hospital, so please keep her in your prayers. And Miss Wendy is, you know, had her schedule changed, so she is working right now. But Miss Aimee, if you need me to share you in or anything, let me know. I can help share in as well. I'm awake now. I wasn't awake earlier, but I'm awake now. Okay. So I do want to measure this, and that's exactly what I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to measure this so that I can cut it a little neater. I'm try to cut it where it's a little bit neater. So I am going to mark my fabric. Ah, gotcha. See, but yeah, you unpacked really fast. Like I said, I haven't unpacked yet. Of course. Of course, my friend. Anytime. I'll be eating some pizza while I watch you. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad she's home. I was kind of worried. Well, she did say there was a lot of construction, so. But yeah, up after me is Crafts by Aimee. Make sure that you go and watch her and see what she will be doing for this journal adventure. You're eating your leftovers? I didn't have no leftovers. It was good. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm just going to finish cutting this up. I'm going to glue it down, and then I'll be sewing my signatures in. So, you know, hopefully Little Golden Book, it has inspired you to craft and create with them. And again, you can make these with all of the beautiful papers and fabrics that we tend to collect and have all over the place. So I'm gonna let you guys go so you can go and see Miss Carla. Not Miss Carla. So you can go and see Miss Aimee. And I'm just gonna finish this up, get it sewn in. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And until I see you guys again, ciao!